But call me crazy. It's starting to look like Robert Guerrero is becoming like a gatekeeper type of fighter because when you look at, what happened with him and Keith Thurman, I felt that Robert Guerrero was avoiding Keith Thurman because at one point in time he was, because he knew that Keith Thurman could possibly beat him, in which Keith Thurman did. And also he would have been elevating Keith Thurman's name off of his. Remember, at one point in time, Robert Guerrero was really trying to milk that. Hold up, I fought Mayweather, even though I lost. I fought Mayweather, so I deserve to be A-side over a lot of these fighters. So long story short, when the PBC came along, we finally got to see Keith Thurman versus Robert Guerrero. And Robert Guerrero, even though he fought a good fight. He fought a good, solid warrior type fight. And he finished the fight, but still he lost to Keith Thurman. He fights a fighter by the name of Aaron Martinez. Got an Aaron Martinez interview coming up. Aaron Martinez puts him to sleep on his feet. Aaron Martinez should have had a win that night. Now we got Robert Guerrero, who's fighting Danny Garcia. Robert Guerrero, once again, the B-side, the B-side of the equation. But anyway, I'm T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live. PBC on Fox. It's going to be on regular Fox, where the NFL comes on Saturday night, January the 23rd. And I was hearing that it was supposed to be, or I was hearing that the first Fox fight, PBC on regular Fox fight, was supposed to be Keith Thurman versus Sean Porter. So now I got to do another video talking about what's going on with that situation. But anyway, Danny Garcia versus Robert Guerrero. I look at it like this. Now we should know that with Ruben Guerrero and Angel Garcia is going to make good pre-fight build-up, especially at the press conference with both of them two going at each other. That's going to be crazy. Also, you have to look at this as a classic Puerto Rican versus Mexican rivalry. They're doing it in LA, even though Danny Garcia has fought a big portion of his fights lately on the East Coast. They're figuring, well, let's milk this Puerto Rican versus Mexican rivalry in LA. Danny Garcia, put it this way, we know that Robert Guerrero is going to be right there to be hit, but also Robert Guerrero is going to be chasing down Danny Garcia. So this is going to be the first fight in a long time we're actually going to see somebody right there in Danny Garcia's face. Remember, Paulie Malignaggi, he didn't have enough knockouts to do any damage punch-wise. Lamont Peterson didn't want to bang. And then, of course, you had the Rod Salka, Mauricio Herrera. This is going to be the first pressure fighter, power puncher, because that's what Robert Guerrero is right now, that Danny Garcia has fought in. I can't remember when, honestly. I know it's one, but I can't remember the last time he fought somebody that's going to be coming directly toward him. So Robert Guerrero, in my opinion, has a big chance to win. But the crazy thing is, did Danny Garcia's power carry up to 147 pounds? Did it really carry up? Now, he's weighing in close to the full 147-pound limit. We know Robert Guerrero is technically, you could say the smaller fighter, because he's coming up from, champion at 126. At his smallest, Danny Garcia has never been smaller than 140, in my opinion, from what I understand. But the point I'm trying to make is, can Danny Garcia's signature left hook, can he knock out Robert Guerrero? After we saw what Aaron Martinez was able to do, after we saw what Keith Thurman was able to do, when Robert Guerrero goes up against nice, solid 147-pound fighters, even when it came to Yoshihiro Kamagai, he gets tagged up. He gets, his face smashed up. So I'm thinking him versus Danny Garcia, does he know that Danny Garcia can knock him out? But at the same time, when it comes to Danny Garcia and Keith, when it comes to Robert Guerrero, can Robert Guerrero possibly win on the cards and outbox, not outbox, but outpunch a Danny Garcia? So it's an interesting fight. I would have loved to see Robert Guerrero against maybe an Amir Khan, but this is still a good fight nonetheless, and also a big fight for Danny Garcia, who's really a full 147-pounder now. He's going up against a former Mayweather and Keith Thurman opponent, and if you look at it, this is a good, solid opponent, to measure him against maybe a fighter like Keith Thurman, in the future, or who knows, maybe a Mayweather. I'm not saying Danny Garcia will ever get Mayweather, but I'm saying, he's getting close to doing a lot to be able for people to say, well, he could have got it over Andre Berto. But anyway, I'm T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. Ruben Guerrero and Angel Garcia. That's going to be fun. I've been to the last few Danny Garcia press conferences. I will be going to his media workout. Of course, I can't get to the press conference because it's in LA. We're going to get somebody there. But T Street controversy, Robert Guerrero versus, Danny Garcia versus Robert Guerrero, January the 23rd, 2016, in the Staples Centers, PBC on Fox, T Street Controversy, T Street Controversy Live.